Good morning. This is Friday. I'm still working on the picture. Oh, it looks good. You might see it, and if you say it looks good, then it doesn't look good at all. But if you say it looks great, then it's not great at all, because then you know what it is. Why am I doing this video right now? Why is it under 2 minutes? I just want to look at everybody and say, George, the cert was changed. You are absolutely right. If you want to know what George says, nobody knows who George is, okay? And I'm not going to say the last name, but at least he'll know himself if it's a male. But it might be a female, like a Georgette, like a Georgina. In fact, in the last 10 years, there have been more Georges that have passed through the knowledge of my mind than I ever saw in my entire life. And guess what? I should cry right now. The name I hate the most all my life was all about George. And my friend Steve, who I call the Big Wolf, because he's such a secretive guy, he howls at his own moon. He tells nobody anything unless it has to be said, keeping himself protected. For the longest period of time I know this gentleman, who's my friend, this guy has always protected himself. His name is Steve. They almost remind me of this gang, Steve and Gary, okay, in which his brother, okay, Gary, I love Gary. I love that name. Okay? The heir and division of man. A-R-Y, the gateway of the heir of the division of man. And don't worry, he's 6'6". And the only thing I don't like about this guy is he ripped me off 35 years ago, and I never forgot. Maybe 33 years ago, and I never forgot. And instead of the guy saying, yeah, I was involved in it, he just says it wasn't me. It was his good friend. I did something with a good friend of his. He made like I should trust him, and he ripped me off. But that's good, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have put Gary in my mind. I wouldn't have thought of SpongeBob. Without Steve, I don't think of the ST, which is the creation of Man in the Moon, 10 and 9. The 9 card, Earth. The 10 card, Mars. How come? 4 times 2.5 is 10. 2.5 times 15, which is a dozen, which is 5. And 5 and 5, 2.5 by a dozen, 15 is an egg tray. Have you ever seen an egg tray? There's 15 and 15 in it, and there's little mountains. When you put the mountains, you can separate the trays between each other. I mean, the eggs. Doesn't that tell you? Put the people in the mountain, we can separate them from each other. In my dream last night, you know what happened? There was a crossing. There was a big crossing, and they had to put a board across this. The board was this long. They couldn't get it across. They couldn't get the board across in any way. So they put 2 sticks they can find underneath this board. And they crossed what's on the board, on the sticks. And they all had to crawl across of it. But when they got across, the sticks, well, how did they put them in the ground? They could put a pin in here so they don't roll. And then they hold the sticks to get across. What that means, I don't know. Number 25, okay? Number 25 and number 29 are the 2 highest in the second cylinder of numbers. Why? 5 and 9, E-I-E-I-O, in the Venus world. 25 and 29 is 53. You can go 24 and 29. If we put 24 in, okay, if we put 24, do you want to see what happens on the other side? Set at 25, you get 53. 24 and 29 is now the piano. From the left to the right, center C is 24. And from the right to the left, center C is 29, making 53. Anybody got the bacon ready? You got the bacon in your pocket, you can do anything you want. The bacon is the link, the sausage links. The sausage links of the bacon are connected to the paddles that keep your heart and life running. I just wanted everybody to sing and dance today. It's exactly 1:35. It says Ace in the afternoon. Now we have to start watching out. This is going to go on all the way until the end of April. But I think it has to happen before the 11th of April, only because of numbers, in which April becomes 2 and 2, and they reconnect Grover Cleveland on the 11th of April. That's why I think they had to move George Washington's birthday. But what's funny about George Washington's birthday is I think it's on the 22nd of April. That's 2, 2, and 2. Just a stupid little thing I drew. You see this? This is the C, but it comes together. You wrap something around it, You wrap something around it. By the time you finish wrapping 10 strings around it, they end up being straight. Here's the H. The other way is the I. They walk from one side to the other side. My dream was crossing over from one world to the next world. So that's what it meant. If you cut off the bottom of a heart, it becomes a 3. If you create the Mercedes sign, see this sign here for Mercedes? Okay? This sign for Mercedes. All you have to do is 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one spreads to here, and this one spreads to here. All of a sudden, you can grab it here. But these two have to be connected. You have to connect. Everything comes in halves. The R letter, okay, the small r is how everything is built. The small r is only a round top with a straight line. Everything is tied together. I wasn't really saying much in this video. I didn't come here to say very much. We all must have saw how coincidental that my family had to be in a business that had these numbers. 15, 438, and 856 is 19. 6 and 5 is the only way to get man on the moon with number 8. 6 and 5 makes 11, and in roulette, the 8 and 11 are together. Next to the 8 and 11 that are together, it is the 10 and 13. 23 and 19 makes 42. In 432 jail, we have 32, which is the backdoor entry. 3 times 2, 3 plus 2 is 11. 32 plus 11 equals 43. 23 plus the same 11 equals 34. It automatically says JFK, Barack Obama. 2 times 4, 2 and 4 is the cat. 4 and 2 is EIEIO, and it's part of the Einstein theory connecting 1776, which has to do 1776 about connecting that moon. How do I know? I don't know anything. I only know what I can tell you in bits and pieces. In between here, there's a cross. You see the plus here? See the plus here? See the plus here? It's the division. We might be living here, 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 and here. Here and here is one thing. Here and here is another. Here and here is another. Here and here is another. Like windmills, all connected to here, connecting 2 at a time for each one. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 3 and 7 is part of Nibiru when it creates the 31 days of the month. 4 and 6 equals 24. 4 plus 6 equals 10. That's a Roman numeral of X and X equals to 34, and it stands for 17 and 17, which is QQ, which is the queen, and the QQ would be, I begin with Q, I am the queen, I end with Q, I am the QUE at the end of a word, which would say the ass of something. I am the head, I am the ass. That's all over Barack Obama, okay? So in between here, 3, 4, 6, 7, if you look, you'll see 3, 4, 6, 7 is the size of the diameter of the moon. Anyways, we're going to leave this program at this. Remember, 2, 3, and 4 is the jail, and 2, 3, and 4, okay, happens to be Mediterranean. When you say A-N, it's also E-N, it's E-A-N. All A-N's are E-A-N, so if you look up American, it's A-N, it's E-A-N, and it's part of the Mediterranean circuitry because the letter N comes from the E family. B and O, Barack Obama initials. 15 and 2 is 17, back to the queen. QUE is tail. It's number 43. 26 and 17 is the dog pound of the queen. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Here's number 10, and the opposite of number 10, that's right, 31 or 13 is 44. And keep adding this up. You get all the way to 1776 at the end. And you also reach, I'm not quite sure, I got to get off. Thank you for watching.